So good afternoon, everybody. It's nice to see some people who are brave enough to come down here and join us. We started this tradition a few years ago, and sadly with COVID, we weren't able to get together last year. And so I was very pleased that the committee put together a hybrid format for us, so that we could, begin to take back our lives and begin to once again see each other, appreciate each other, and cheer on each other for the awesome work that we do. Because we work hard, don't we? Come on, give it to yourselves. Each and every one of you works terribly hard. Those of you who are with us in the auditorium and those of you who are joining us via Zoom. And so typically we like to have the food and the fellowship to say thank you. And hopefully if we can get our numbers back down again, we'll be back to a real ceremony so we can really hug and cheer each other on and break some bread together and celebrate all the terrific work that you do. Especially this past year, it's been difficult with every 6 months going from curtailed to limited, back to curtailed, no masks. It's been a challenge. And, the code word, the operative word for the last 18 months has been pivot, to be able to pivot. And that means to move quickly from one position, one policy to another. And you all have been expert in doing that. You have been wonderful about it. I have heard no complaints, believe it or not, I'm serious, from our employees. I have gotten no complaints about policies and changes and wearing masks. It's hot, it's uncomfortable. Nobody wants to wear one. But you all have been fantastic throughout. And so on behalf of all the judges, I wanted to say thank you. Thank you for doing your job. Thank you for coming to work. Thank you for making this as pleasant an experience for our coworkers and our visitors and our bar as possible. So again, give yourselves a big hand of applause. Before we get started with the festivities, I would like to thank our committee. If you're here in person, please stand and wave. Megan Blake, Kim Dorsey, Liana Gonzalez, Kaylin Meeks, David McKinney, Alex Coughlin, and Frank Marsh. Thank you all for working so hard to put this together. This is, again, an important thing that we do. We don't do it far enough, and we want to make sure that everybody understands how hard you work to put this together for us. So thank you. We're going to start with the presentation of service pins. And if you're physically here, feel free to come on up. You're going to enter the stage to my left. I always have to check which one's my left. This is my left. And then you're going to exit the stage right behind me when you go. So first, I would like to invite Judge James Brown up. Well, actually, is Judge Gill here? No? Okay. All right. So Judge Brown, I'm going to invite you up to take over and read off your list of 25-year pins. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. I've been given the privilege of handing out the 25-year pins, and I think we all recognize that 25 years is a full career, and it's a career in service to be admired and to be appreciated. So, naming the two individuals who have achieved the 25 years, first being Shira Allen. And the second individual being Lorenzo Sanchez. Could someone tell me who that is? Is that Larry, I assume? Thank you.
Well, that's okay. You can pick up your pins from administration when you get around to it, but 25 years, woof. Next up, we have Judge Hawkins, who's going to present the 20-year pins.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to be before you. And again, I want to echo what Judge Brown says. You guys have done a phenomenal job. I've been here 3 years and I've been oppressed and overwhelmed with joy and gratitude for the hard work that you all do and the participation that you all have. It does not go unnoticed. You guys make our jobs a lot easier. You guys are hardworking, you're committed, you're loyal, and I just want to let you know that we really appreciate you, and we could not do our jobs without each and every one of your individual efforts. And I heart you, and I see you. So I have the distinct pleasure of giving a 20-year acknowledgement to the following people. Made 2 decades, whoop, whoop. All right, Jill Matthews. Mindy Brown Galladay. Jennifer McGraw. Where's Martha McNabb. And Jennifer is one of our faithful stenos. Laura Hopper. Roger Carter, who's probably over there assisting our staff and our juveniles over in our JIC. Vonda Bullock. And last but not least, Wally Spence. Again, thank you all for your commitment and service, and hopefully we'll get over this soon. We're all in this together.
All right. Up next with our 15-year pins is Judge Dana Price.
Good afternoon. And I echo what all the other judges said. I had an opportunity to say thank you to most of you in the room today. And I just want to say each and every one of you does play an important role in the way we roll. So thank you again. And it's my honor to read to you the names of the 15-year employees for 15 years. And they are Mary Rattan, I assume Mary Beth Rattan, Kevin O'Neill, and Carrie Houdenshield. Okay, and thank you again.
All right, and now we have a short video from Judge Lachelle Stroud. She's in trial. But she still wanted to join.
Congratulations to our 10-year service pin recipients. And the 10-year pins are presented to David McKinney, Amy Gertzmeyer, Marcy Weber, Suzanne Martello, Eva Helber, Brian Elliott, Candace Hasco, and Floyd Tatum. Again, congratulations. Thank you for your service, and thank you to everyone here at Domestic Relations and Juvenile Court.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh, there we go. They have some for you.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, we can hand it.
That's right.
All right, and now I'd like Judge Elizabeth Gill to come up and present our 5 years.
Hi, everybody. I didn't hear if everyone said we appreciate you, but I bet they did, and I do too. I'm pleased to present the 5-year pins this year to Arthur Jackson, Jamie Skurlock, Ivelisse Cupid, Raina Brown, Chloe Lewis, Raquel Riddell, Jessica Moore, Leanne Gonzalez, Celia Benton, Randy Cassoni, Jennifer Mullins, Alicia T., Wayne Merriweather, and Evelyn Page. Thank you for those great 5 years.
You see how much higher the microphone has to be when Judge Gill comes on? Now, short people will bring it back down. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that, judges. We're now going to start the presentation of our service awards. And the first service award that we are giving out today. Well, first of all, the service awards, let me just say this. The service awards are the Leadership Award, the Making a Difference Award, and the Employee of the Year Award. And we have a different judge that's going to come up and present each of those awards. These awards are nominated by peers. And we ask every year, and I'm going to remind you again this year, to nominate your peers. The form is not hard, and I believe the committee will accept it without the form if you just put your name on there and who you're nominating and why. And you don't have to wait until 30 days before the next ceremony. In fact, we encourage you not to. If you know of somebody that you'd like to nominate, and as you read and hear more about each of these awards and the recipients of these awards, send an email when you get back to your desk. Or if you're at your desk, send an email now, and we'll hold them for the committee. But sometimes we forget to do this. We forget to acknowledge our peers. We forget that we're so impressed with someone. And if you think of it, do it in the moment so that our committee has a wide range of people to select from every year. But introducing the first service award, we're going to invite back Judge Beth Gill. Thank you.
I wear the extra high heels just to throw everyone off. So I'm so excited to introduce the Leadership Awards this year. The three individuals that are going to be honored today on this are in fact, in my opinion, leaders as well. And I'm so pleased to see that they were nominated by their peers. When I was looking at the list of them and thinking about them, a quote came to mind, and I honestly, it's not me, so I have to for sure say it's not me, but I can't remember where I heard it. But leaders are not, as we are often led to think, people who go along with huge crowds following them. Leaders are people who go their own way without caring or even looking to see whether anyone is following them. Leadership qualities are not the qualities that enable people to attract followers, but those that enable them to do without them. They include, and this is the part that really reminds me of the three that we're going to get to see today, at the very least, courage, endurance, patience, humor, flexibility, resourcefulness, stubbornness, a keen sense of reality, and the ability to keep a cool and clear head even when things are going badly. True leaders, in short, do not make people into followers, but into other leaders. And so we will present our three awards today. Brian Edwards, Patrick Tingler, and Wally Spence.
This year's Leadership Award could legitimately recognize many DRJ staff members who overcame multiple 2020 obstacles with diligence and creativity to achieve the goals of the court and its departments. We transitioned to remote work, remote meetings, and remote hearings. At the heart of it, this is a success story about technology. Under the guidance of its director, the IT department converted our home offices into our work offices. The department diligently solved the complication of expanding remote access and offering assistance to resolve compatibility issues preventing us from connecting to our work desktops. Many of us have one computer at home that had to be shared with our spouses and school-aged children, and IT worked to deploy hardware that was needed to allow most of us to be safe at home. Others had phones that needed to be supported so they could be used as substitutes for computers in ways that we couldn't imagine a year earlier. Meanwhile, everything was changing about the way the court conducted its daily business. Zoom accounts were procured, and overnight our meetings and hearings went virtual. We went from cattle calls to predetermined hearing times and relied upon technology to bridge every gap. Working remotely created a few mini emergencies for me. Once, after an automatic update on my home computer, I couldn't connect remotely to work, and I put in an IT ticket before 7 a.m. that was answered shortly after. Most of us experience moments like that, where the only thing that could solve our problem was knowledgeable staff from our IT department. And not only were they knowledgeable, they were accessible, patient, and kind. Other changes were quickly required, such as the transition of the civil protection order desk to e-filing and virtual hearings. New forms had to be created and deployed to accommodate COVID workarounds. Change orders had to be processed with SEJS to accommodate the shift in our business processes. These are just a few examples of the issues of the overwhelming tide of changes that our IT department had to deal with at the onset of COVID and throughout our period of remote work. Meanwhile, IT couldn't stop the many projects and responsibilities that are always incumbent upon them. There were servers that needed updating, applications that needed supported, databases being developed and implemented, hardware to replace, and many more things that I can only guess at. So please join me in appreciating the IT department as a whole for a job well done in 2020 and recognizing its director, Brian Edwards, as a Leadership Award winner.
This year's Leadership Award recipient routinely epitomizes the values and goals of the domestic relations and juvenile court. This individual has taken the initiative to participate in numerous professional development opportunities, including Leadership in Government Series, Introduction to Restorative Practices and Facilitating Circles, Motivational Interviewing, the National Center for School Engagement, numerous leadership conferences, and serves as a member of the Youth Education and Intervention Services Department leadership team. The recipient consistently identifies and meets the needs of the youth and families we serve by researching community resources, literature, articles, and best practices to provide interventions for youth and families who may be experiencing homelessness, domestic violence, mental health, behavioral health issues attributing to attendance. This individual was instrumental in creating the fidelity reporting guidelines for the TIP program, which were adopted for all programs within the Youth Education and Intervention Services Department. This year's recipient has presented on truancy interventions, House Bill 410 mandates, and the TIP program to numerous counties, school districts, and charter schools seeking to lift similar programs. Additionally, under their leadership, the Truancy Intervention and Prevention Program received recognition from the Supreme Court of Ohio for excellence in diversion programming. To date, this recipient's contributions have resulted in the reduction of habitual truancy charges appearing on the magistrate's dockets, having served 6,600 youth and families through the Truancy Intervention and Prevention Program since program inception. It is with great honor that I present Patrick Tingler as the recipient of the Leadership Award.
I have worked with this year's Leadership Award recipient on many projects. Each time I am always surprised by his talents and willingness to be available for any needed situation. Last year, while working on an employee recognition event, he was only on site certain days, but often traded these days or had his name added to the schedule as to better serve the court staff's need. During COVID, he recognized that many staff members were having difficulties doing on-site recordings and was able to come up with several other options, such as Zoom and voice recordings, to help those staff members stay safe while complying with social distancing restrictions. He demonstrates a talent working with audiovisual technologies. These talents running the gamut from screenwriter, editor, creator, pre and post-production. His work really speaks for itself. The beautiful video designs and polished graphic presentations that greatly enhance the court's visual image. When I was introduced to this year's recipient, he was running a public access television station in Newark, Ohio. It took a lot of work to convince him that Apple Macintoshes weren't the future of office computing. Once he was reprogrammed, he has never looked back. He is always learning new and creative ways to use Photoshop and other media applications to present ideas. His desire to discover new and inventive ways to present court information is only surpassed by his easygoing personality, which makes his interactions with our employees more productive. It is my pleasure to present our court's 2020 Leadership Award to Wally Spence.
Judge Brown is next. All right, and next with the Making a Difference Award is Judge James Brown.
Thank you once again. When I was asked to present the Making a Difference Award, I had to question to myself, what exactly does that mean? What characteristics, what type of employee, what are we awarding here when we say making a difference? And when I learned of the individual who will be receiving this award, I think the name, at least this year, could very easily be Answering the Call. This is an individual who works more behind the scenes than up front, works endlessly, works tirelessly, tackles immediate issues, tackles major projects. So this is someone who, in the times of COVID, in the times of the IT issues, has answered the call each and every time and has come up and met the task. So I am proud to announce that the winner of the Making a Difference Award goes to Andrew Byerly.
This year's Making a Difference Award winner has performed extremely difficult work under extraordinary circumstances. COVID made it necessary to expand our e-filing process, and he rose to the occasion. He has worked towards a new CMS by analyzing processes, understanding the new system, and has devoted entire months to these activities. As the Director of IT Operations, I have witnessed this employee grow from a CSEA liaison, a court officer, to a business analyst, and to his current position as senior business analyst. In all of these positions, he has demonstrated a willingness to investigate court processes to determine ways of improving them. It is my pleasure to present our court's 2020 Making a Difference Award winner, our unicorn, Andrew Byerly.
All right, and our Employee of the Year Award is going to be presented by Judge Monica Hawkins.
All right, thank you all. You are all Employee of the Year to me. So we'll hear the tape, and you guys will anxiously await to see who was selected. Drum roll, please.
The 2020 Employee of the Year is constantly on the move, but is never too busy to stop and help. I have personally seen him be stopped by staff back to back who were confused or needed help. He immediately goes out of his way to help staff with any IT issue, and if he does not know the answer, he knows who will. He's a pleasure to work with and is very seldom in a bad mood. He also goes above and beyond by carrying his laptop while working so he can continue to answer emails in between larger projects to maximize his ability to provide IT services in a timely manner. He's quick to offer training or help if there is ever something a staff member does not understand. He is an exemplary employee, along with always being prompt and prepared. In the mid-90s, while working at Newark City Schools, I found myself publicly stating that the deployment of all this classroom technology would be worth it if only one of our students would use what they had learned to make a profound difference. It is my pleasure to present this 1996 graduate of Newark High School, our court's 2020 Employee of the Year, John Salem.
Woohoo! Congratulations, John.
Always sounds.
It always is. So, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you. That was wonderful. Sorry about the award mix-up. I apologize. All right. So, we were just down to closing remarks. We wanted to keep this short and simple. Again, a plug for our committee. Would you give them a good hand of applause? Thank you for all of you for coming down and joining us. Again, you can pick up your pins from administration. They're nice. It's a symbol of all you've done and your contributions to the court, and we encourage you to wear them proudly. That concludes our presentation. We want to thank you again for everything that you've done and everything that you continue to do. I'd like to offer another round of applause to our award winners this year. Congratulations to you all, and continue to be blessed and be safe. All right. Thank you for coming, everybody.